Yeah, I'm here. You hear me?
Yes. Hi. Say hi to Tony and tell us your story.
Hi, Tony.
Hi,
oh my gosh. I'm so excited. You changed my life and you've changed my children's lives, and I just want to thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. This program is life-changing. I don't even know where to start.
What was your life like before you started? How has this affected your kids? Tell us.
Before I listened to this CD program, before my life was, when I grew up, I was fearful and overwhelmed and exhausted all the time. And then great things happened in my life, and I had 3 kids, and I actually had my daughter 16 months later. I had my twins, so I had 3 babies under the age of 2. And but then what happened was my ex-husband, well, at the time he was my husband, left. So he actually left when my twins were only 2 weeks old. So I became a single mom with 3 babies, little education, no job, and now I'm totally overwhelmed. So this program helped with that aspect of helping keep me positive and changing my focus. And then a few years later, I found out my son had autism. So now I'm really overwhelmed. I don't know where to go, what to turn, and I'm able to take the tools that I learned in your program. So I learned to change my focus. So instead of focusing on my son being nonverbal and not just the things that were happening, I was able to change my focus on how can I help my son be happy and healthy. And then it went further. And then I changed my questions. So your program also helped me change the questions, because the questions help change the quality of our lives. So my son was 2.5 at the time. All 3 of my kids were 2.5 and 3.5. And I said, I want all 3 of my kids to be tax-paying contributors to society, making happy, healthy choices. So, and everybody thought that was funny, and they laughed, and they, couldn't believe I saying that. And I changed my question on why did this happen to me? Why is my life like this? I was able to say, who's going to help me help my son? So
can I interject just for a second there, because I want people to hear this. You've owned this. I can see it in your eyes and I can hear your voice. But people don't realize our questions control our life, and we have habitual questions like, why does this always happen to me? Like you said, why can't I ever lose weight? Why does my husband or wife always do this to me? And built into the question are presuppositions that make us see life a certain way. If I asked you, look around the room right now and look for everything you can find that's brown. You look everywhere, look for brown. Try it right now. Look for anything that's brown all around your room. Close your eyes and tell me everything you saw that's red. And most people say, I see a lot more brown than red. But if I say, open your eyes and look for red, you'll look for red. But here's what's really true. You find what you look for. I'm sure you saw beige things and called them brown just to feel successful. You see burgundy things, call them red. So what you did, I want people to understand, is you shifted the question, which means it changes your focus and it changes the answers you get in your life, from why is it this way to who's going to help my kids. That was huge. Please continue.
So then I'm asking the questions, and then resources are just showing up in my life. So I decided, who's going to help me help my child? So I would hear little snippets of conversation, and then the next step was in your program, and it's like from the very first one, it's take action. Do something, even if it's something small, whatever's making you feel bad in your life, just do something, email, phone, or whatever. So you start out and you make it really easy to take these little steps that kind of snowball. So I decided, well, I need to understand my child better, so I went to school to become a special ed teacher. So I was able to get the energy to help my child to do, and have wonderful results. So I take action. I focus on the positive. How can this be happy and fun? My son is doing absolutely fabulous. I literally travel around the world helping other families not have to go through what I went through, helping them to live your program as well. And so this program is just life-changing. It's amazing. It's very easy. I would listen to it in my car with my kids. I'm driving them to school, so they're actually hearing Tony too. So can I share a funny story with you?
Please.
So,
Please.
You talk about the 6 human needs. So I was actually able to keep my sons and daughter off of drugs and alcohol by doing the 6 human needs. So I was thinking, why do people do drugs and alcohol? The 6 human needs for it. And then I thought, what else can I have my boys do instead of doing drugs and alcohol? So I got them into supermoto racing, and they're meeting all needs huge. And then I put a little pain in there saying, if you did drugs and alcohol, I would sell your bike and you'd have to go to wilderness camp. So my son got caught actually smoking marijuana, and I took his bike away from him, put it on Craigslist for sale for $100. It's a $7,000 bike, and then put his cell phone on it, so he was getting these calls every 1 second, getting these phone calls. And then I forwarded him the little letter I got from wilderness camp saying all he needs to do is bring 30 pair of clean underwear, and he'll make his own soap and his own food. And if he won't come willingly, we will have 2 big transporters come and take him in the middle of the night. So literally, he cried for like a month and literally was able to help him, to motivate him to make good choices.
Yes.
So this information is, it affects every area of your life, your health, your wealth, I wanted to be the best mom I could be, and you helped me be the best mom I can be, and I just thank you for that.
Oh, thank you very much. Wow, what an amazing story. I got to tell you, most people, they look at why life has done this to them. Instead, you figured out where the gift is. I always say, if you want your life to work, you have to change your core belief from life is happening to me to life is happening for me. That sometimes even the biggest problem is a gift because it makes you find something. I mean, you found things within yourself to help your children you probably never would have found if it wasn't for the obstacles you face. You wouldn't wish these on anybody, but at the same time, to have that change in your life and to know that you've made that difference for your kids is amazing. And you've had the tough love part too, so congratulations to you. God bless.
Becky, thanks
you
so much for taking time to Skype with us today.
Thank you.
All righty. Bye-bye. One of the things I love when you're here, Tony, and we take we do these Skypings and we talk to people, that everybody touches on a different element of the program.
Yes.
Single mom with 3 kids under the age of 2, all on her own. We talked earlier with somebody who was affected by the events of 9/11 and looking for ways to sort of deal with that. We talked with somebody who is trying to find ways to make their business better. I mean, there really is something for everybody. Every single one of you watching right now, I don't know anyone who says, my life is perfect and everything is great, I have everything I want, there's no way anything could get better than this. Nobody can say that. There's always areas. I think for working moms especially, we try to be all things to all people and we forget about ourselves.
Yes.
This is a great program for you. There will be things in here, and then that makes you a better mom, and that makes you a better wife, and that makes you a better friend, and that makes you better because you feel so much better because you're so much more in tune and in touch with everything around you. Personal power, get the edge, inner strength, that's all part of this program. What Tony's included here that he's never had before. The path, those are sessions where you're really with Tony as he's coaching somebody else, seeing what he's doing to encourage better choices for weight loss, encouraging somebody in relationships and finding that passion again. You're getting that kind of like private access that you've never had before in any of Tony's programs here at QVC.
It's like going to a live event, honestly, because you get to see what somebody else sees and experience what they experience. And the changes are lasting. That's what's so beautiful. You say, well, does this really work? What's wonderful is you get to follow up and see these people in the same film 5 years later, 4 years later in this relationship one, and sharing how it's lasted. And why does it last? Because anything that is just thought about isn't going to change you. It might change you for the moment. But what we really do here is change your conditioning. I'll give you an example. Has there ever been a form of food or an alcohol or dessert that you used to love, you were addicted to, and then one day you had an experience that was not very positive, where what was inside you came outside of you? Well, after that, you never touched that food or that alcohol or anything again. Just to think of it, the smell of it, the look of it turns you off. It doesn't take any willpower because your conditioning has changed. We show you how to condition yourself to avoid those things that don't serve you in your relationship, in your body, in your emotions, and how to condition yourself so that you do the things you want. So it becomes automatic. Willpower never lasts, but conditioning does. And the reason you've seen me work with people, for example, who have been in therapy for years, or people with phobias and wipe it out on television in 15 minutes, is the tools that I've learned over the years literally change your conditioning. Listen, if you want a real change and you want to do it in a fun way and you want to get started right now and you're tired of settling for a life that's less than you deserve, call me right now, give them your QVC card or go on there with your credit card, and guess what? In $45, this can be sent to you and you can start listening and get the benefit from it right away starting today. Give us a call now.
Don't forget, you're also going to get $100 off one of Tony's seminars. You're also going to get a free 30-minute coaching session. That's huge. You're going to love that, and that's going to enhance this experience. The free online profile as well, all of that included. This is over a $660 value that you're getting here for $45 a month. Remember, it's a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Real quickly, we're going to go say hi to Catherine, who's joining us from Florida. Catherine, we're a little limited on time, so I just ask that you tell us your story in a Reader's Digest condensed version if you can. But thanks for tuning in.
Hi, how are you?
Great, this is Tony.
Hey, Tony, how are you? This is Catherine from Miami. I started out with you in the early 90s listening to tapes, and then in 2003 I went to my first UPW.
Wow. And
experienced massive, massive change. And then 5 years later, I started up with you again in 2008, and then it seems like I keep peaking every 5 years.
Wow.
And so here we are in 2013, and I've peaked again, and I'm at a point where now what?
Yes.
What do I do next?
Yes.
So, and I wanted to call and say thank you for helping me all throughout the years, and to hope one day I get to meet you, but I appreciate speaking with you on the phone.
Oh, that's wonderful. Listen, everybody hopefully has growth periods. Most people kind of get stagnant and spend the same pattern most of their life. I mean, if you do the same thing you've always done, you get the same result. You know, most people do the same thing and hope it'll get better. Well, hope doesn't change anything. What I always try to explain to people is my original teacher taught me, it was a man named Jim Rohn. He said, Tony, one thing to remember the rest of your life. He says, you know, for things to change, you got to change. For things to get better, you got to get better. It doesn't get better by hope. It doesn't get better by wondering. It gets better by taking some form of action and putting yourself in an environment. But he also taught me, just like martial arts or sports, I don't care how great you are in a sport, you grow, you grow, you grow, you grow, you grow, you grow, and then there's a point where you hit a plateau. It happens in jobs, it happens in relationships, it happens in your body. What you do at that plateau is what controls your life. What a dabbler does, they go, it's the wrong relationship, it's the wrong job, it's the wrong sport. They go do something else for a little while until that's boring. And so they never have a life that's rich. What a stressor does is they get there and they fight, 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 fight. And maybe they break through, maybe they spend the rest of their life fighting and eventually giving up. What masterful people do is when they get to a point where they're really on a plateau, they go, who's played this game before me? It's like if you went, and I say to people, have you had the humiliating experience of ever playing a video game against a child? Who always wins is the child. Why? Is it because they're fat or no? It's because they played this game before. They know the first bad guy's on the left, the next bad guy's on the right. So you're busy reacting and you're dead in 3 seconds. They play for 25 minutes. You get your next thing, you're dead in 2 minutes, right? So what I show people is if you want to know the road ahead, that's the gift in life. That child wins because they know the road ahead. I know the road ahead because I've worked literally with 50 million people, 4 million people in live seminars from 100 countries. There is nothing I've not seen. Body challenges, relationship challenges, financial challenges, business challenges, and I've taken the best of all that and put it